What's cracking, guys? Bruce Matson here, your host of Metric Scout Fantasy Football. And as you all know, we've been covering a lot of rookie draft information, from doing mock drafts to doing rankings and everything else. On one of the videos, I got a question, and it was regarding Superflex. What do I do if I'm stacked at quarterback and I have one of the top picks? I'm talking 101, 102, 103. Do I go after the quarterback? Do I just take the running back, wide receiver that I need, fill my needs? Well, this is what we're going to answer this question in this video. We're going to try to help you out here. So this is a great position to be in, being stacked in your roster, and then being at the top of a super flex draft, especially a rookie draft, allows you so many options and possibilities for trades, for picks, what to do. It's really, what do you want to do with this pick? What do you want to do? Because there's really not wrong moves. There's probably more optimal, but there's not a wrong move to do here. You could pick the wrong player, but hindsight, there's nothing really wrong you could do here. This is like money in the bag. As long as you pick the right player, make the right move, you're good. It sounds simple to say. It sounds common sense, but it always sounds like common sense until you say it. But here, one thing you can do is just draft the QB. You draft that top quarterback no matter what, and that gives you more depth at the quarterback position. You may be stacked with 2 good quarterbacks, 3 good quarterbacks. I know one league, Superflex, Joe Burrow, Kyler Murray, Matt Ryan, and a couple other scrub quarterbacks. I was got a little bit of a roster there. Kyler Murray got hurt this season, missed some time, and then we just had to figure it out on the back end on my QB2 spot, since I had Joe Burrow leading the squad. And yeah, I'm studly there for a Superflex league long term, but I had an injury. So you may want that depth. You may want a third good quarterback, a good quarterback prospect. Another thing too, it could be just an investment. You could be looking at this as like a Bitcoin, as that stock, because if this quarterback hits, you're going to see him rise in value exponentially, and you can sell him for whatever you want. You can sell him for a quarterback, a cheaper one, a running back, some picks, that running back that you wanted. A lot of trade options if that player hits, and that's just something you want to go for, something you want to do. That is actually a good option for you on the table if you're stacked, is just get that other quarterback and just let him sit there, see if you can capitalize on that gain in value. And honestly, I don't see that quarterback dropping value much if he doesn't do much during his rookie season. Like, say he has to sit a long while, say he doesn't get many starts under his belt till maybe year 2, you could flip him for not much less than what you paid for him, and there's not much risk there unless you hold on forever and he busts. Things start trending downwards, you have to react quick. However, in Superflex, quarterbacks hold on to their value a little bit more. I was looking at people talking about value for Baker Mayfield on Twitter and how they would value him right now. Everybody hates him, quarterback-wise, long-term-wise. There's probably some people will like him, but from that perspective, for his value, he's still being garnered as a back-end first-round rookie pick in Superflex, high-end second, mid-round first, depending on the situation. So he's still holding some value, a sell-off value. It's held there just because of the positional value that he has. So that's something you want to think about. Quarterbacks are very valuable in this format. Quarterbacks are very valuable in Superflex. Once somebody gets a top-end quarterback, good luck trying to trade for him. You're going to have to trade half your team, one of your stud running backs, a lot of picks. You have to put in a Godfather offer for you to be able to get the transaction even started, because Superflex quarterbacks are valuable, especially if you got 2 good ones. If you got 3, you may decide you just want to sit on the 3. Maybe you experience an injury of one of your top quarterbacks, and this third quarterback helps you out. Quarterbacks have a lot of value in this format, especially on the trade market. So drafting this quarterback might be an option you want to partake on. However, if you want to win this league, if you think you're a player away or a piece or 2 away, you may want to explore some other options. I'm going to give you all the options here, so whoever watches this video can think for themselves and decide what they want to do. And this is global for all years, whether it's this year with this group of players, last year's group of players, and next year's. But honestly, if you don't want the quarterback and you're sitting there at the 101, 102, there's two things you can do. You either select the player you want, and if it's this year, it could be like Treylon Burks, it could be Garrett Wilson, it could be one of the three big running backs, as in Kenneth Walker, Isaiah Spiller, Breece Hall. Pick your guy. But what I would recommend is sit there while you're on the clock and try to get a deal done. See if you can trade back a little bit in that draft, pick up some extra capital, and still get that player or get a player in similar value. If you got three big running backs, maybe you can trade back a few spots, get one of those three backs, pick up a pick for next year, pick up another ancillary jabroni to add to your team, whatever it is, but negotiate some trades out. Therefore, you're getting the same type of player, but you're adding some assets to your team. Also, do not forget about next year's picks, 2023. You can also work for those. So while you're at the top of the draft, think about trading back. If you're thinking about going running back or wide receiver with the pick before you make that selection. There's a lot of leagues out there in this world. There's a lot of people in this dynasty space is coming at this channel from all angles, but there is a lot of leagues out there that many of the managers in that league just doesn't trade. They just flat out trade. You're sitting there on the clock. You can't get deals done. If you really do not want that quarterback, go ahead and go running back or wide receiver. One thing I do want to note here, though, if that quarterback is considered elite level talent, or that quarterback goes to a good situation, it's juicy, everyone's talking them up, they're excited about them, you may want to go with that quarterback anyways. This is not a sexy quarterback draft this year. We got Kenny Pickett, we got Matt Corral, we got Sam Howell. We got some good quarterbacks here. We got to see where they go. We got to see what happens with them. But we got to keep our options open right now, philosophical-wise, because we got to see what happens on the end results, see what the buzz is about. Another thing I would keep my ear to the ground to is social media, especially on Twitter. Are the masses talking about these quarterbacks? Are they talking them up? Are they giving them a lot of good praise? Are they giving them down praise? Because if you're getting a lot of praise in social media, that's going to trickle down to some of your leagues, if not all your leagues, or not at all. You got to understand your leagues too. That's one big thing about trading. If you don't know what your league mates want or how your league mates trade, you're not going to get anything done. But this gives you a quick little window to what the market could be like. Not always. Not always. I've been in leagues where the Twitter market was like this, but my leagues are like, nah, we value these players like this, and you're not getting anything done at the right price. And that's just how it is. You just always need to be kicking the tires. Another thing you could be doing on your trades, and I kind of recommend this too, and I want you to explore all options. When I say kick the tires, I want you to try all trade scenarios, trading back, trading for next year, and also packaging this pickup and using it to purchase that player that you want. You have that 101, 102, 103. There are not many years that you get that top pick. It's not all the time. You may get that top pick once every 5, once every 3, once every 10 years. It is not every time. You have to make the best of it, and maybe the best thing is packaging it up with maybe some next year's picks. Maybe some of those players or prospects you're not super keen on, that you're like, man, I'm a little wishy-washy, and see if you can pay up for a CD Lamb, T. Higgins, Jonathan Taylor. You got that 101, add in a pick, add in a couple of those players you don't like. See where kicking the tires gets you. You get rejected, you see what more you can add to it. What's it going to take if I add my 101 next year's first, some more picks, and a player to get to that player I want, say T. Higgins? What's it going to take? Can I get it done? Can I get Jonathan Taylor if I give you this? If not, what else can I add? And can you get the deal done? Cool. If you can't, too pricey, another strategy. Maybe trade back. Maybe just draft the player you want. Whatever you want to do. But the big thing here, though, if you got the 101, you got the 102 in a Superflex rookie draft, and you're stacked at quarterback, explore all the options. Explore that quarterback value, and remember, quarterbacks hold their value for a long time, and if they hit, even if you don't need them, they can shoot up in value exponentially to the point where you can almost buy anything with that quarterback. But this also is dependent on your league, because there could be a league that does not value quarterbacks in Superflex the way most leagues do. Each league is its own economy, so you got to think about this. You got to know your league as well. And that standpoint, if you got a league that's not willing to pay up for quarterbacks, you may want to just draft that running back or wide receiver, get your guy, because down the line, that quarterback's not going to have that value anyways unless you get some new league mates in there to help fuel the economy of your league. So you really have to know your league, know the economy of your league, know the positional value of the quarterbacks this year. So if you got like a Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, those top tier quarterbacks, everyone's blowing them up in value. They're calling them generational talents. You have to select them. If you got a generational running back, Jonathan Taylor, like when he was coming out, you may want to bump him up and take him over the quarterbacks. If it's wishy-washy, ho-hum, kind of this year, you kind of want to read the tea leaves. Where the quarterback's going to a juicy spot, you may want to select the quarterback. If everything's just even Steven, you may want to trade back. You may want to trade out to 2023. You may want to package up to get what you want, or package for pieces, or you stay put. Select your player if you can't get the deal done that you feel like's the correct value. However, if you can trade back, get the same player that you're getting at the 101, and you lose on value, but you still get a little bit more, that's always a win too. You really just got to kick the tires and explore your options. But I imagine if I have the 101, I'm trading back a few spots, I'm expecting to get that person's first, and I'm expecting to get next year's first and maybe a little something. Or maybe that person's first and a player. And I'm holding that 101 and 102 higher and more with value. I'm valuing it pretty high compared to a 1 QB league, because I know the quarterback position is highly valued. I know I can hold those other managers in my league over a barrel, and that's what I'm planning to do. I'm not coming in to give you the pick. I'm going to try and hold every manager, the other 11, the other 14, 15, 16 people in this league. I'm going to try to hold them over the barrel for this pick, because quarterbacks are highly coveted. If it's a newer league, usually the value in quarterbacks are unstable the first couple years, but once things start to get in its order, in its place, once everyone's got their quarterbacks lined up, they're not going to want to trade them away unless you pay up for them. And therefore, the 101, 102 in those quarterback leagues start to get more valuable, and you really want to pay attention to that value and really capitalize it when you get in these situations. The most important thing here, you got to know what you want to do, who you want to draft, and what you want to do with the pick before you get into the draft, because you're going to be hot and heavy in trade negotiations very quick, or at least hopefully very quick, because you got the hottest asset in the offseason, the 101, 102 in a Superflex league with quarterbacks on the board. Make sure you maximize those opportunities. But I want to thank you for watching the show, sticking with me. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out, and I'll catch you next time.